Hi, my name is Louise Jeffrey, and I'm a speaker, teacher, and coach who helps women to let go of their fears and reclaim their inner power. And today I'm going to share with you how powerful you really are. Now, if you're someone that suffers with anxiety or with fearful thoughts, then this video is for you. I'm going to teach you how to transcend and let go of your fearful thoughts and shift yourself back into a state of positivity and of calm. But before we start, let's talk about fear. Let's talk about what it is and how it actually works to affect us. Now, we all have a conscious and an unconscious mind. Our conscious mind is that part of us that is logical, that is able to think consciously and to make decisions. And the unconscious part of us is that part of us that doesn't need our conscious thought to function. It is able to function unconsciously. And breathing or feeling hunger, for example, might be those aspects of ourself that fall under the unconscious mind. Now, the unconscious mind creates limiting beliefs based on our past life experiences, whether these are good or whether they are bad. And what it does is it actually makes assumptions, whether they're right or whether they're wrong, based on our life experiences, and then urges us to live our lives by these limiting beliefs. And what it does is that it creates negative thought patterns or processes that come from our limiting beliefs. And these thought processes actually work to keep us stuck in fear. Now, the unconscious mind makes us believe that we need to continue to think in order to remain in control, because it wants to be right and it wants to be certain about life by making assumptions, even if they are wrong. And this is a complete delusion. So we all have these self-serving negative thought patterns or thought forms that are unique to us and to our own life experiences. And these thought forms swirl around us, and they're actually based, as I said, on our limiting beliefs. Now, these thought forms happen to us involuntarily, if and only if we don't create conscious awareness of them. In other words, if we don't become consciously aware of them, then we're actually at the mercy of these negative thought forms and of these fearful thoughts. Now, what the unconscious mind wants is it wants us to think of every eventuality to make us feel more in control. And I don't know if that's ever happened to you. When you're feeling fearful, we start to catastrophize and we start to think of, if I think of all these different things that could happen, then I actually remain in control. But in fact, this doesn't help us at all. It actually just hinders us. As Eckhart Tolle says, this is actually the creation of suffering. We create our own suffering. Now, unhappiness and suffering is created not by our circumstances, but actually by the narratives in our own mind. Now, the funny thing is, the unconscious mind actually wants the fearful thought. It's actually addicted to it so that it can be right and certain about the assumptions that it's made, about the limiting beliefs that it's created. So, if these thought forms are happening to us, then we have to understand that we actually have a choice whether to listen to these thought forms and these thought processes or not. And this is what we call free will. And once we get that we have free will in every second of every day, it becomes deeply, deeply empowering. So what we need to do is we need to shut these negative and fearful thought patterns down. And here's the choice that we have. We can either be dragged along by the fear and sucked into these negative thought forms and create our own suffering, or we can actually learn how to let these fearful thoughts go. We can learn how to transcend them and how to become separate from them. So how do we actually go about doing this? You're probably wondering, what do we actually do, to transcend these negative thought forms? Well, what we first of all have to understand is that we don't fight them with our willpower, because this actually only makes them stronger. There's an amazing saying that says, what we resist persists. And the more that we fight something, the bigger it becomes. What we actually do, rather than fight these thought processes, or rather than trying to push them away or ignore them, we create awareness of them. And then we turn to another perspective. And here's how we go about doing that. So first of all, we start by creating an awareness of the fearful thought as if we're actually viewing these thought forms from the outside. Now, the best way to do this is to actually view ourselves as if we're looking in with another's eyes, as if you're watching yourself from the outside. And if you were watching yourself as another person, what would you see? And if you do this, you have to ask yourself, how do I see my fearful thoughts now? Do I see them differently? Rather than identifying with them, we're actually disidentifying with them. We're seeing them as they are, as fearful thoughts, but it's nothing else. So the next step really is to drop our awareness into our body and take ourselves out of the thoughts and into the body. So one of the ways we can do this is to start by dropping our awareness into our hands and to feel the energy there. Now, if you can't feel the energy in your hands, you have to ask yourself, how do I know my hand is there? So just take a moment now and close your eyes and feel the energy in and around your hands. Now, straight away, I can actually feel a kind of buzzing or a tingling sensation around my hands. But if you're struggling to feel it, if it's the first time that you've ever done it, just ask yourself, how do I know that my hand is there? And as you drop your awareness into that question and ask yourself that question, you'll notice that you'll start to feel your hands. And what you'll notice as well is that you'll see that your hands will start to feel more alive than they did before. So now that you've got awareness of the energy in and around your hands, start to notice your other body parts too. So perhaps as you're still feeling your hands, you might want to feel your feet, the energy in and around your feet, and then around your legs, up to your thighs. Feel the energy in your arms. Feel the energy in your chest, in your abdomen, in your throat, in and around your head. And every time a thought form takes you away, just come back to feeling the energy in and around your body. Notice the sense of aliveness in your body's energy field. Perhaps you feel a tingling or a buzzing, or just a sense of being. And if you can't feel that feeling, again ask yourself the question, how do I know that my body is here? And what if I was to imagine that I felt a tingling or buzzing sensation in my body? And then notice your breath and notice your breathing. Notice that part of you that keeps you alive. And then finally, I want you to expand the sensation that you feel out into the quantum field and feel your connection to what's around you. Feel your connection to the energy field that is greater than you, to this body of energy that is greater than you. Expand your awareness out as if you're part of this quantum field, this body of energy. And what you'll start to notice is that your mind's busyness will subside. It'll subside almost completely or 100% completely. And you'll also notice that you're starting to feel calmer and more peaceful in yourself. And the negative thoughts are starting to shift into calm. Now, the more you do this, the less prevalent those thoughts will become. Because eventually, you'll be able to, if you practice this enough, you'll be able to really just take a few seconds to drop into your body, to feel your energy around your body, and to release those negative thought forms. So to summarize what I've just told you, it's really 3 steps. The first one is to create an awareness around what you're feeling, around your negative thought forms, and realize that these are not the reality, but just the fearful thoughts. And then to realize that you have a choice and that you can choose to shut them off if you want to, and then make a decision to do so. The next step is to drop your awareness into your body. Start with your hands and then move to your other body parts and actually just notice the aliveness in your body. And then the third step is to expand your awareness out into the quantum field, into the energetic field, and feel your connection to what's around you. And you'll notice the calm and the more peaceful thoughts coming into your being. Now, this is just one of the techniques that I teach in supporting women to let go of fear and to step into their true feminine, authentic power. Now, if this resonates with you, then I'd love to tell you about a free of charge Reprogram Your Unconscious breakthrough session that I offer. Now, in this 60-minute session, you'll have the opportunity to get clarity on how your unconscious mind is holding you back and get clear on what you can start doing now to reprogram your mind so that you can start to live the life you deserve to live. Now, my commitment to you in this session is that you'll walk away with at least one immediate strategy for change. Now, this session is really only for those that are ready for change and are ready to take the steps required to get there. So please only apply if you are at this point. If you want to schedule a quick call in to see if you're eligible for this session, then please click on the link below that says schedule my call. Now, I'd also love to invite you to join an incredible and growing tribe of empowered women. Now, this group was set up by myself as a safe space for women to come together and to share their thoughts, their views, and their dreams, whilst also supporting other women to become the best that they can be. Now, it's a space for women to remember who they truly are and to reclaim their authentic and feminine power. And what you'll find here is genuine sisterhood, freedom of expression, transformational tools, and mystical wisdom. And I'd love to have you as part of this growing tribe. And you can join and access all of our great resources and our conversations for free by clicking on the button below that says join our group. I'm so looking forward to supporting you on your journey of change. Much love to you all. Bye for now.